Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Enjoying your day. Man, it is hump day. June 8th. Wow. See, I'm still getting the cobwebs out of my head. June 8th. Woo! And let me tell you guys, I'm happy to be here. That's all I'm going to say. I'm very, very happy to be here. Obviously, I'm still getting this cold out of my system and all that, but I got some real exclusive ish for you guys right now. Okay? I got some exclusive ish for all of y'alls because this is very, very hard to find online. I'm dead ass. Okay? I don't only have one interview. I got two of them. I got both of them that we're going to watch together as a family. Camille Vasquez and Benjamin Chew finally sat down with Good Morning America and the Today Show, and they had some things to say, y'all. And like I said, and I'll say it in a little bit too, my opinions, but I was waiting for this. And hopefully this is going to close the chapter until, more information comes out, or if Amber decides to appeal or anything of that sort. But what I found extremely, extremely interesting, let me turn this down a little bit. What I found extremely, extremely interesting is how they talk about their win. I said it. It's about how they talk about the win. And the thing is this is how you do an interview. Do interviews, okay? Let me keep it real straight funky with y'all. This is how you win gracefully, okay? Graciously. How to be a humble winner, not a sore loser. I'm being dead ass. I watched both of them. And I was like, wow. You're going to see it for yourself right here. The exclusive. You're going to see both interviews. We're going to sit through both of them together as a family. And I know some of y'all are going, why are we still talking about this Amber Heard BS, yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you something real quick. I was waiting. I was specifically waiting for this interview. I didn't know that they're going to do a bunch of interviews, but I was waiting for those interviews to go down. This interview with either Camille and Ben or Camille. I was waiting for this specifically so that we can maybe tie it up in a bow and move on to other bigger problems that are going on in our country and going on in the world, okay? And let me tell you something, y'all. They really show their true colors in this interview. I'm dead ass. I would hire them in a heartbeat if I had a couple $1 million bags in my bank account. You know what I mean? A couple M's in my bank account. You feel me? Okay? So we got to take a look at these. So I understand some of y'all tired of this, but this is what we were waiting for, at least for myself, so we can close this chapter on this trial. Okay, until they open it back up and do some more ish. Okay? So, and SC, exactly. You're absolutely right. Let me pull that up here really quick. Bam. Court TV is having another interview with them tonight. Okay? Tonight. So they're still doing their due diligence. They're doing their rounds. They're going to be out here. So we got to take a look at these two of them. Okay? 2 interviews. Because some people are only showing one. Some people are talking about only one. There's 2 of them out here. 2 of them. Okay, we're gonna watch through both of them. Okay. All right. So do me a favor before we get things moving. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to every single person. Welcome to the Pascal Show. My God. still learning how to talk today. Hit that like button down below. Send it past 200 likes. I see all y'all starting to file in because you care, because you're interested about this particular story and these interviews. And like I said, it's very telling. Very telling. So hit that like button. Send it past, man, F it. Send it past 300 likes. I see you guys starting to file in, okay? Good morning, okay? Good afternoon and good evening, because I know some of y'all, somebody just said they're watching from Poland, and it's 4 p.m. already. So if you are drinking your libation right now, your evening cocktail, because it's happy hour over there by now, just please drink responsibly, okay? And also, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button, por favor. Okay, cabrón? Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Okay? I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into some things, y'all. We got some things to get into. All right. So we already know, all right, that there was a huge defamation trial lawsuit. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. Obviously, Johnny Depp walked away with a huge W. Huge win. Got Amber's ass got beat, okay, by an amazing legal team that Johnny Depp hired. And who was spearheading that was Camille Vasquez and Benjamin Chew. Now, they obviously went home with the W. The very next day, we already talked about this before, but I'm going to pull it up anyway, or I'm going to talk about it here really quick because we're going to be comparing these interviews between Elaine, okay, Team Heard, the very next day, okay, the very next day after they received the L or the loss, just so you know, L means loss. Elaine went on to the Today Show and Good Morning America and basically went in on not how she could have done better, how her team could have done better, and maybe some of the reasons why they lost, right? But instead, she goes in on everything else except taking any accountability for her choices and her actions and the choices and actions that they made inside that courtroom. Now, we've already seen that episode. We already did that episode. Please go check it out. It is night and day what you're about to see. I'm not kidding. So we're going to look at the very first one that we have right now, which is Good Morning America. And Good Morning America, George Stephanopoulos, okay, or the Snuffleupagus, if you're a Sesame Street kid. He interviews Camille Vasquez and Benjamin Chew. Why? Because they're the rock stars of this entire trial. And just how they talk, how they respond to these questions is absolutely mind-blowing. And it's definitely worth the watch. So let's take a look at the first interview. Our first interview of the day with Good Morning America. It's pretty damn good. Let's take a look. And of course, I got to cut in and out with my commentary because I don't want to get slammed with any type of copyright stuff and all that. Okay. So let's rock and roll. And good morning to everybody who's starting to file in. Do me a favor. Like I said, hate to say it like this, but it helps my show. It helps the algorithm and all that. Please hit that like button down below. Send it past 400 likes. Hit that subscribe button and let's rock and roll.
And Ben Chew sitting down for their first interview. Here with Johnny Depp's lawyers, Camille Vasquez and Ben Chew, sitting down for their first interview since the blockbuster verdict that Depp was defamed by ex-wife Amber Heard. Welcome to you both. Camille, let me begin with you. I think the verdict surprised a lot of legal experts. They thought it was a very uphill fight from the beginning for you all. What was the key to victory?
I think the key to victory was focusing on the facts and the evidence, and Johnny's opportunity to speak the truth for the first time. It was 6 years in the making, and I think he was able to connect with the jury and the general public and tell what really happened in this relationship.
He wasn't in the courtroom for the verdict. What was his reaction when you told him?
Now, real quick, before we go into that next question, absolutely. They relied on facts and their truth. Obviously, there's two sides to every story, two sides to every coin, and all that. But let's be real. Look at how she's responding to these questions. her so far. We haven't even gone to Benjamin Chew yet, okay? But look how she's talking about this. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand, okay? I get it that they're the ones that walked home with the W and the win. And it's very easy for us to look at them and go, look how gracious they are. Look how wonderful they are. And look at, you say, Elaine and how she takes the loss and goes and blames everything except her team. That's the difference I like to point out, because they're looking at this and they're going, okay, it was an uphill battle. As George Stephanopoulos just said, this is an uphill battle, y'all. I had one of my good friends, Eddie Herman, on the show, lawyer, fantastic lawyer, of Brown and Crouppen. He came onto the show and he's like, it is very hard to prove defamation. It's very hard in a defamation lawsuit to show proof that that person is actually defaming you or trying to, what they said or did destroys or hurt your career. It is a very hard thing to prove in a court. And they were able to pull that off. Why? Because she just said it a second ago. Because of truth. And here's the other part. Hard facts. Let's continue.
He was over the moon. It was like the weight of the world had been taken off his shoulders. And I feel that finally, after 6 years, he's gotten his life back.
He also went on TikTok yesterday thanking his supporters on social media. What role did social media play in this verdict?
My view is that social media played no role whatsoever. This was a decision made by the jury on the evidence presented by both sides. And as Camille said, it was overwhelmingly in Mr. Depp's favor.
Now, I will say this, and of course, I'm sorry, I have to break it up like this. This is just how the cookie crumbles, y'all, okay? So that it doesn't get hit or anything crazy like that, okay? So I appreciate all y'all just riding with me, rocking with me on this, okay? This is, that's funny, actually. I'm sorry. I mean, that's kind of funny. Jamarcus. That's it. Anyway, when it comes to this, I know a lot of like what Elaine said, okay? What Elaine said earlier was, hey, oh, no, it was social media and it's because of social media and all that stuff, which they're going to be getting into here in a second here, talking more into it. Now, I don't think it played a large role in this. People who watched on their phones, on their laptops and their tablets and on their TVs, watch this entire trial. You can see it. You can see through the BS. And maybe as far as the court of public opinion, them doing it live, streaming it live was not a good thing for Amber Heard. Obviously, it wasn't a good thing for Amber Heard. Okay? Really wasn't. Because everyone was able to see what kind of woman, what type of person Johnny Depp was dealing with. So for me, I don't understand why people are riding so damn hard on this social media thing. It's because of the internet. Like it's a Childish Gambino album, okay? Because the internet. This is the reason why they took home the loss. No. Most people were able to see the truth through her lies. Let's continue.
Ms. Heard's lawyers put out a statement yesterday saying the verdict was a setback for women's rights. And they went on to say that it's unseemly and unprofessional for you all to be, quote, taking a victory lap for setting back decades of how women can be treated in the courtroom. How do you respond to that?
I think it's disappointing. We're only speaking about what happened in this case, right? And the facts in this case were overwhelmingly positive for Johnny. And the verdict speaks for itself.
Let me say this real quick, and then we're going to continue fast. But what is okay? Look at that response. Excuse me. Look at that response. Humble, gracious. One other thing I will say, though, too. What are you talking about, victory lap? What victory lap did they do? as soon as they won, as soon as the verdict came in, all they did was go out, make a public statement after the verdict came in, which is what most lawyers do anyway. Whenever they win or lose, they will come out. How many stories do we see about, say, the George Floyds or the Michael Brown Jr.'s or any of those things? Okay, just for an example, okay? When they find out a verdict or they find out that some person's not going to be charged with X, Y, and Z, how many times do they go out and they speak on the facts, speak on their what they feel, right? Emotionally. What victory lap did they do? Actually, it's funny because you see Elaine go out there and do the loser lap. And then she's blaming everything. She's going, it's the wind. It was the wind. That's why I lost, because of the wind. So what victory lap are we talking about? They waited a week or so to go on to these media, these news shows. They didn't go the very next day and do their quote unquote victory lap. They waited. Elaine was first in line. She jumped right on that and started to blame everything except her damn self. Leela, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Glad to see you back. Yeah, I've always been here. I ain't left. I was on last night too. We had a great show with my boy Nico. Anyway, good morning, America is biased. Stopped watching them long time ago. You know, and I get it. They're biased. Yeah, sure. You know, as is every news outlet that's out here that we see on the TVs. But he did ask some good questions that I feel like, well, he asked the very basic questions that he asked, or that Good Morning America asked Elaine when she came on to the show the very next day after the verdict was announced. So I wouldn't say it's bias. It's them asking the questions to find out what they're going to say about all this BS. But I digress. Let's continue on. We got more to go.
But the broader criticism, though, it's not just from Heard's teams. Victims advocates have argued that the verdict is going to have a chilling effect on domestic violence victims, and it's a blow to the Me Too movement.
I think our response to that is we encourage any victim to come forward. Domestic violence doesn't have a gender.
So you don't see this as a setback to the movement in any way, shape, or form?
We do not. We believe that the verdict speaks for itself. The facts are what they were. The jury made a unanimous decision based on those facts.
I say, listen, hear these people out who are sitting here coming out saying certain things. Say that they are saying Me Too. Say that they are saying men too. Okay? But I feel like Amber was an exception to the rule. She's just an exception to the rule. Okay? And damn right, gamer lover, they were doing their damn job. They were absolutely doing their damn job. I just saw a comment I wanted to pull up here. Penelope Montreal, no setback. What Amber did was was a setback for us. Many women will not be believed, all because of her fabricated stories. Absolutely. Like I said, I keep saying we should still take every story, every accusation, every Me Too moment. I feel like we do need to hear it, consume it, and make sure the stories line up. I think we can still believe women. I'm not going to sit here and say believe all women, but I do believe that people like Amber do exist. And I feel like she's an exception to this rule. People should still be able to step forward and speak out. This should not make any person who is maybe on her side think, and is a survivor or a victim, should ever think that they cannot step forward. Yes, you still can. This is not a setback. She tried to do something. She tried it. But because of her loss, she set it back herself, not the verdict for Johnny. And you also got to remember, Men can also be abused as well. Men can also be victims as well. But everyone seems to forget. A lot of people seem to forget that. I know the chat. I know the fam and the chat and all that. You guys aren't like that. But there's a lot of people that automatically think, oh, because we are, genetically stronger and so on and blah, 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 that we can't be victims of heinous things like this. But hey, men can be abused as well. And that, I feel, is one of the parts of the story that I feel like a lot of the news is starting to gloss over. They're forgetting that, hey, men too. Men can be victims and survivors of DV, SA, and SV as well. We need to start listening up more often. That's the problem. But let's continue.
During your cross-examination, what was your impression of Ms. Heard's impression on the jury?
I think that her impression on the jury was what it was. I think something that I focused on and we focused on in that cross-examination was using her words against her. And it was very important for us every question that was asked was tied to something she had said previously. And I think the jury got to see and the world got to see and hear from Ms. Heard in that relationship on every single topic.
And George, I think there was a real contrast. Johnny took ownership of a lot of things. And it seemed at times, and perhaps it came through to the jury, that she had an answer for everything and she wasn't taking accountability for anything.
Zero accountability. Zero accountability. And then, like I said, so far, we've only been watching a few minutes of this interview. It's about 4 minutes long. 5 minutes long. Okay, so we got 2 more minutes of this interview, but here it is. Look even at Johnny Depp's team, Team Depp. Look at how they're responding. Look at how they're talking about the situation. Look at how they're reacting to the things that are being said, that were said from Elaine's team, from Team Heard. Look how they're even responding. And now one thing that did help in Johnny Depp's whole trial, at least in his narrative, is that he took accountability. He put everything out, warts and all. He's like, yeah, sure, mega pine, and it's happy hour every day, or all the time, all day, whatever he said. He really was somebody who said, you know what, I'm not perfect. Yes, there's going to be some things that are not going to be very becoming of me, but I'm going to take full responsibility of it. And we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to sit there and say, yeah, I said that at that time. Yeah, you read that perfectly. Clearly, taking accountability. What did Amber do when she went on the stand? Aside from lie, you know what I mean? Why you always lying? She did that plenty of times, but what did she do? She dressed herself up as a damn model citizen, okay? She made herself seem like she came from nothing, which clearly she came from something. It made it seem like she came from poverty. No, she didn't. Learned sign language, was doing community service, which is actually interesting because community service was actually put on her because of the track record or the arrest record that she has, okay? She had to do community service because of her multiple arrests as a child or as a juvenile. But I digress, okay? Or as B12 just said, it was court ordered. Abso-freaking-lutely, okay? Court ordered. But she dressed herself as like this model citizen saying, oh, I didn't do the yayo. I never did the booger sugar. I didn't do any of that stuff. It was Johnny who did all that stuff. I just stood there and watched him do all this, consume all these drugs. Come on. Zero accountability even on that. From the very beginning when she sat in that stand and on, zero. No accountability. And I think that's one of the biggest things that helped Johnny Depp and hurt Amber Heard. Tell the truth, okay? Tell the truth. You know what I mean? Tell the truth, dagnabbit. But nope, she didn't want to be about that life. But Johnny did. Johnny was about that life. And it worked out in his favor. Let's continue.
And I think that made a difference.
Heard's lawyers say she plans to appeal the verdict. She doesn't have the money to pay for the judgment. And you all have said that the goal is not to impoverish Ms. Heard. Is it possible where we could see a settlement where she forgoes the appeal in return for Mr. Depp waiving any monetary damages?
Well, George, we obviously can't disclose attorney-client communications, but as Mr. Depp testified, and as we both made clear in our respective closings, this was never about money for Mr. Depp. So this was about restoring his reputation, and he's done that.
So you're not disclosing any privileges, but it sounds like that's something that could be on the table, but it's up to Ms. Heard?
Again, we have to be careful what we say, but this was about Mr. Depp's reputation. That was what it was about for him.
Yep. Reputation, reputation, reputation. All he cared about was getting his life back. He wanted to get his mojo back, baby. That's all he wanted. That's all he cares about. Fine. If he has to pay a few $1,000,000 to her, whatever. You see what I'm saying? All he wanted was the love and respect that I feel, rightfully deserves.
Your life has changed a lot in the last several weeks. You got made partner this week. Congratulations.
Thank you very
Both of you have also become something of social media stars. How has it changed? What does it feel like?
It's been surreal.
No
and
doubt.
if I'm being honest, a bit overwhelming. But if I can be an inspiration to young women that want to go to law school and study and work hard, then it was all worth it.
You made the choice to go to Virginia for this trial. How much of a difference did that make?
I think Virginia was a good venue for some legal and other reasons, and it has a fabulous court system, tremendous judges and fair juries, and I think this the evidence was listened to carefully on both sides by the jury, and again, it came overwhelmingly in Johnny's favor.
Ms. Heard did win on one count of defamation. Will you be appealing that?
Again, I think it's premature to say, but if you look at the context of the verdict, it was a total win for Johnny.
Beautifully said. Now, okay, let me just say this really quick. This is how you do an interview, whether you lose or win, period. Doesn't matter. This is how your lawyer should be out here speaking. Diplomatically, fairly, balanced. We looked at Elaine's. Now, this is only the first interview, by the way. This is only the first interview. We got another one to go through, okay? And yes, there's a lot of the same questions are being asked, okay? But on some real stuff, this is how you speak on your trial, whether you win or you lose. You do it graciously. You do it gracefully. You can see they're not showboating. They're not, you know what I mean? They ain't up there throwing up gang signs and be like, yeah, gang, gang. They ain't doing nothing like that. They're just sitting there going, listen, we rested, and trusted the truth and the facts. And one of the things that helped Johnny Depp more than anything in the world was that this man took accountability for all of his actions. For all the things that he did, not the things that he didn't do, but he took accountability, okay? And that's the biggest thing. You have somebody else out here that was in that trial, remember her, Amber Heard, who didn't take any accountability. Nothing, zero, zilch. Took no accountability for any of her actions. That was one of the biggest things that destroyed her whole argument, her whole narrative that they were creating. Like I said, but you also can see, and I've said this before, you can also see the vibrations, the vibe, the energy, the spirit of Team Depp and the spirit of Team Heard in just these interviews alone. You look at Elaine's interview, and it's just filled with vitriol and more lies. She's pointing the blame at everybody and they mama. She's saying it was the wind. That's why we lost. It was the wind because of social media. How dare you guys on social media talk about this? You swayed the jury. Nah, it's called they saw the truth. They saw Amber Heard on the stand lie and take no accountability for her actions. Thank you, Danisha. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Or the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I see a bunch of y'all in the chat right now. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Send it past. Get it way past 1K. Love to see the likes hit 1K really quick. It costs nothing to hit that like button, but it helps this channel. It really does mean a lot. Okay, so get it past 1K. I see over 2,300 souls watching the show. We're going into the next interview, trust and believe, okay, with the Today Show. And it's definitely interesting. We got to take a look at that one as well. So hit that like button, send it past 1K real quick. Just just go, hit it, bop, 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 okay? And of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that follow button. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button as well. But I know a vast majority of y'all are on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button right now. And then come back and let's chop it up on this next half of this show. And I'm telling you, you want to see this piece too, okay? I appreciate all y'all's support. I do have that merch link down below. Go check it out. I still have some Johnny Depp Heard trial-esque designs in the still available on the merch page. So please go and check it out. Of course, I got my Patreon right there on the ticker. Okay, got the Cash App down there as well. And of course, hit that join button. Support the channel any way you can. Okay, that means by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, or check out all that other stuff down below. Okay, it'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay, so. And yes, Pam J, absolutely. Camille got promoted to partner, which is absolutely huge. That's going to change her life, obviously, for the better. This whole trial changed the entire team's life, obviously. They're doing really, really well. You know what I mean? Penelope Montreal, thank you so much for the 5. You are much appreciated, Pascal. Thank you so much, Penelope. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so, so very much, okay? And for those of y'all who haven't done it yet, follow me on Twitter. That's the last thing I'll say. The Pascal Show, one word. Follow me on Twitter. I'm on TikTok and Instagram as well. But I'm trying to bulk up my Twitter. So please go follow me on Twitter if you are on the twits. Okay? Now, we got to go into this next thing, okay? Oh, and Nur, thank you so much. I'm going to get that posted, pinned to the top. Hold up. Thank you, Nur. Okay. And if you're, of course, interested in the membership and helping this channel out, this little channel, I have just pinned it to the top of the chat. So thank you, Nerf, for doing that for me. I appreciate it. Anyway, guys. Oh, Laura Strada, thank you so much. Remember the Rocket Man is a big part of her life, LOL. She is going to be financially okay. We'll see. We'll see about that. I mean, clearly she's going to be all right, but I don't think she's going to be seeing the inside of a production studio or seeing seeing her do any movies anytime soon, unless she privately funds her own movies from this point on. But on some real stuff, I don't see anybody really going and seeing her stuff anymore. So it's going to be very tough for her to get out here and find success. Because even so, say that Johnny Depp lost. Real quick, before we go into this next interview. Say that Johnny Depp lost. Let's just say. Even if he privately funded all of his own movies, all these independent movies, people would still go see his movies. People would go and support him and still enjoy his stuff because he's also a good actor. and the movies that he has already left a legacy, a catalog of movies, a catalog of great work. Amber Heard really hasn't done much. She's Mira in Aquaman 1. She played a couple small movies. She was in Drive Angry. Never Back Down. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these other movies, she just happens to, I mean, I don't think she looks good, but, people think she looks good on camera. I'm not a fan, unfortunately. Okay. But that's the thing. I just don't see her going out here just being fine after this. I don't see her doing movies anytime soon. I could see her doing some sort of crazy like D-list reality show. I could see that, right? And she plays the Omarosa of the reality show. You feel me? Like one of those, like there used to be a show back in the day. I'm sorry for the left turn, but there used to be a show back in the day where it was a reality show where like Tom Sizemore was on it. It was all these guys, all these actors, basically washed up actors that were dealing with addiction, like serious addiction. Okay. I don't remember. It was like on VH1 or something like that, but they were all dealing with addiction and it was a reality show. And I feel like I can see her doing that. You know what I'm saying? Or like a Big Brother. You feel me? D-list stuff. Like remember her with the thing and she was in that thing one time and the thing she was what's his name? She was Jack Sparrow's ex-wife. That's what's going to happen. I can see her on a reality show like that. Period. But just so she can scoop a bag. But other than that, I don't see her doing anything else. I'm sorry. Celebrity Rehab. D. Hudson from downtown. Yes, exactly. Celebrity Rehab. Okay. Or you know what? The Surreal House. Yup. Or maybe she could do her own version of Flavor of Love. No, I'm just kidding. I'm told. Do not give her a dating show. She will end up hurting somebody on that show. Somebody will leave with 9 fingers. Okay. Anyway, all right. But those kinds of shows I can see happening. All right. Later. Because Hollywood still loves to see the people who have been screwed over or the people who have made a fool out of themselves. They love to look at them like they're a freak show. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what has she been up to? Sort of thing. Wow, she looks really haggard. And then it's the whole story of, I got really deep into my depression and was doing a lot of blow. And then I just got introduced to crystal meth. That's literally the stuff you hear on those kinds of celebrity rehab type shows. Tom Sizemore. By the way, Tom Sizemore, decent actor. Too bad with the crystal meth. Real talk. Crystal meth, don't do it, kids. No. Don't do it. But that's meth up. Oh my God. I'm done. Sandwich. I'm done, Sam. Okay, guys. All right. I took a little bit of break. I had to, I didn't want to go back to back on this thing. But, well, of course, we got to jump into this next interview. I had to cut through a bunch of it because Savannah Guthrie does this huge intro, which we already know all this BS, okay? And then it goes straight into the interview. So I wanted to show you guys what she did so far. And it's it's also very interesting because you got to remember how Savannah, if you remember the interview that she had, that Savannah had with Elaine, this is just very interesting. She kind of threw me off. I was very surprised about this interview. I was expecting her to kind of go in, you know what I mean? I'm going in. And she didn't really. Just take a look. All right. Here we go. Ooh. Ooh. Roll that back a little bit.
Joining us now are Johnny Depp's lawyers, Camille Vasquez and Benjamin Chu. And a quick disclosure, my husband has done consulting work for the Depp legal team, but not in connection with this interview. So
I just wanted to point that out really quick. I found that fascinating because in the other interview, it seems as if she's going like, Team Heard, how dare, you know what I mean? How dare she lose? And now she says her husband was a consultant on Team Depp. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. So it sounds like Savannah Guthrie or whatever was just doing her damn job. But okay. Yeah, let's check it out.
with that aside, let me ask you, did you speak to your client right after the verdict? What was his reaction in the moment?
I think just an overwhelming sense of relief. I was speaking with another friend of ours, a mutual friend of Johnny's and ours, and he said, I haven't seen Johnny smile like that in 6 years.
You know, not having seen Johnny Depp smile like that in 6 years, like I said, he didn't give a damn. He didn't give two damns about the money. In fact, I'm sure he doesn't give two damns about getting Captain Jack Sparrow back. I think he just gave a damn about his kids. Not sitting here saying that his kids look at him funny, but at the same time, just getting his mojo back, man. Getting the love back. That's it. So he could walk down the street with his head held high. He doesn't give a damn about no money. Come on.
The weight of the world is off of his shoulders. He's got his life back.
As you well
Facts.
know, the law does not favor a plaintiff like Johnny Depp in a defamation case like this. The burden is very high. The threshold is high, and he crossed it. Frankly speaking, were you stunned at this victory, Ben?
Well, we had ultimate confidence in Johnny and the jury and the facts of this case, and you can only hope that the jury will see it. And in this case, they did, and the verdict was overwhelmingly in his favor.
Now, let's be real. Overwhelmingly in his favor because of how things were presented. They came in with facts. They came in with evidence. They came in with the truth. And I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but hey, it's the same. It's basically the same interview, just on a different channel. But there is something that is asked here that's I think is crucial, and is a very, very good question. But yes, Tyler Hackner, he can finally exhale. You know what I mean? Damn, she could have had a V8. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Waiting to exhale. Never mind. Okay. But breathe again. He could finally breathe again. You know what I'm saying? He could finally do his thing. And yes, the European housewife. Okay. Truth wins. Truth always wins, especially when it's presented properly. And especially when you have someone who doesn't give a damn about anything else. His whole focus is just putting out the truth. And you may not like everything that comes out of his mouth. You may not like the truth, but also the truth shall set you free. Let me mop my brow. You know what I'm saying? The truth prevails. Yes. And blum. Just saying. The truth shall set you free. Okay? Yes. And of course, the devil is in the details. Let's continue here, y'all. Damn right. The truth shall always set you free. Okay, Simon. On Facebook, Dag Nab.
I should mention the jury did find Mr. Depp responsible for defamation for one of the statements made by his lawyer. It accused her essentially of staging a scene in furtherance of an abuse hoax. How do you square that finding with the rest of the verdict, Camille?
I think it's just the verdict is overwhelmingly positive for Johnny, and it was unanimous. There were 7 people that decided he was defamed.
Amber Heard's attorney was right here the day after the verdict, and she said the jury had not been permitted to see certain evidence that would have bolstered and verified Amber Heard's claims of abuse, in particular, therapist's notes. What is your response to that? And was there evidence that was suppressed for a valid legal reason that might have made a difference?
Okay, first off, before I go into this question or into this answer really quick, this is a damn good question. Because yes, Elaine, as you remember in the last interview, the interviews that she had, okay, until I guess until Amber Heard's PR team, her new PR team, by the way, said, no, shut up. Elaine, stop doing interviews. That's why I don't know. Did she do the interview with Court TV? I was keeping my eyes out for that one because I wanted to see what she was going to say in her interview on Court TV, but I ain't seen her do the Court TV interview yet. But she was also supposed to do during that same trip, she was supposed to be doing an interview with Court TV, and it never happened. Okay. And my thoughts is because she went out there and she said a bunch of ish she shouldn't have said. And one of the main things is this question right here. It's wait a second. Was there evidence that was withheld? She says, there was proof of him kicking her when she was down and he was crying and sending her a message saying how sorry he was for kicking her when she was down, so on and so forth. And it's like, if there really was that information, why wasn't not presented and put into court? I asked that question when Savannah and I think Gail asked the same damn question. So let's see what they have to say about that real quick.
I think that was very disappointing to hear that and to hear her impugn the character of the jury. And
so Elaine could be lying? You know, Elaine could be lying. Is she lying though? I don't know. Let's find out.
And the evidence came in that should come in, and the judge was very fair to both sides.
Beautifully said. Let me say this though. I know I'm chopping it up a lot, but I have to, okay? I'm sorry. This is just how the cookie crumbles, okay? Real quick, I see you guys in here. Hit that like button down below. Send it past 1K. Come on, y'all. Dag nabbit. Almost 3,000 souls watching this show right now. Hit that like button down below on the YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button, okay? Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Here it is. To me, this is their very diplomatic way of saying, Elaine lying through her damn teeth. Okay. She lying though. Nothing that she said in those interviews were true. She probably was getting paid extra to go out there and say these things, right? I'm going to say these because no matter what, this is her reputation too. You got to remember. It's also Elaine's reputation too, baby. And she just got the huge the huge L. I'm sorry. All right. But hear what he said. I'm going to roll that back one more time, one more again. But how he responded was extremely diplomatic, very, very even. Okay. But it's a beautifully said answer. Beautifully said. Okay. One more time for the nosebleed seats. She asks about evidence.
For a valid legal reason that might have made a difference.
I think that was very disappointing to hear that and to hear her impugn the character of the jury. And
insulting the jury. He says, it's very disappointing. He's not like, oh, hell no. You know what I mean? Somebody, hold my earrings. Where's the Vaseline at? He ain't sitting there saying none of that. He ain't. He's just going, hey, just disappointing for her to sit here and say those kinds of things, to put that kind of information out there that is probably not even true. Let's not forget, okay? There is video out here, and I'm sure they've seen it by now, of Dr. Spiegel, the Schmiegel looking like an eagle, all right? Going to the stand. Before he goes on the stand, he's like, I'll lie about whatever I need to lie about. Is there anything that you want me to not lie about? Literally, there's audio of this. Okay. So she was willing. Elaine was willing to do anything under the sun to go home with the win, not the truth. So, of course, she goes up and does these interviews and she's going, we had plenty of evidence that we couldn't bring up. Where's the evidence? Show us. Here's another piece, though, too. A lot of the evidence that Camille Vasquez and Benjamin Chew presented to court was evidence that we have already seen, was already on the internet. We saw it on great channels like That Umbrella Guy or on Incredibly Average. We saw all the audio and the footage and the text messages. It had already been laid out in front of us way before this trial came out. So if there was more information, more proof, more evidence, hard-hitting evidence, no pun intended, high-key, low-key, if there really was, they should have been able to put out anything. And how he says here in a second, hey, the judge was fair. I feel like the judge was absolutely sitting on that fence, very uncomfortably, by the way, okay? It was one of those, the wire fences, that do this up at the top. She's just sitting there straddling that mother lover, trying to be fair. You hear it here. He says she's being fair, but she's insulting the jury. She's insulting the judge. In fact, she's insulting us for not trying to have a fair trial, which they are saying they had a fair trial. So if they really had footage or text messages or any proof that without a shadow of a doubt that he actually did put his hands on her, or the part where she's been spreading in these interviews where she says he was crying, apologizing for kicking Amber Heard whilst she was down. Where was it? Don't talk about it afterwards. Don't tell me it was the wind. Show me the facts when the facts are needed right then and there. Let's continue. But hear him out.
And the evidence came in that should come in, and the judge was very fair to both sides.
In particular, she cites the UK judgment. As we all know, Johnny Depp sued The Sun, a newspaper in the United Kingdom. He lost that case, the judge finding that claims by the newspaper that he was a wife beater were substantially true. Now, Amber Heard's lawyers say that judgment should have come into this court case. What say you?
Was a different process, right? And also Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard in this case were the parties. They had different disclosure obligations. So we disagree. The overwhelming evidence that was presented in this case in Virginia far exceeded what was presented in the UK. And we believe the jury got it right.
Yeah. Let's not forget, Amber Heard, it sounds like she was in cahoots with the people that run or own The Sun. Also, she committed perjury, in which she is also being investigated on because she committed perjury. Let's just make that abundantly clear. And I'm going to say it one more time. Okay. In UK, she's being investigated for perjury because she lied when she was on her testimony. She lied. Yes. So even so right now, the stuff that she's putting, like the BS that they're trying to pull out right now. Now the UK is going, oh dear. Oh, so sorry. We may be wrong on this. Seriously. I don't know why I sounded like a weak ass Jason Statham, but you know what I'm saying, okay? She went on the stand and she lied there too. And now she's being investigated for perjury over there. So why would they even try to bring this issue out when her testimony might be thrown out the window because of her perjury ass face? Just saying. But we're going to continue. Oh, so sorry, love. Oh, you committed perjury. Damn.
As you know, this trial was very closely watched. Social media certainly took off in a way that we've seen high-profile trials before, but this is the social media age. Do you believe the jurors saw any of that, were swayed by any of that?
No, I don't think there's any reason to believe that the jurors violated their oath. And again, that suggestion was disappointing to hear.
Yeah, I mean, Amber Heard's lawyer said so. She said it would have been unavoidable because it's on TikTok, it's on social media. I mean, in the old days, you'd tell the jury before they went out, don't read newspapers, don't watch the evening news. Now it's everywhere.
That's true. Yes, it's hard to do anything nowadays because of the internet. I do agree with that. It's hard out here for a pimp. And yes, you have to trust the jury to go home and sit there and not pull out their phone and look up things online and check out whatever the hottest trends are on TikTok, or not look up things on YouTube because everybody and their mama is watching things on YouTube as well. But you got to look at this and realize that, okay, I mean, obviously they're going to answer this, but in my mind, you have to trust the jury. If you decide not to have them cut off from the rest of the world for 2 months, then you have to trust that they're going to listen to the trial. They're going to watch everything. They're going to hear the evidence. They're going to see the proof. And they're going to do the right thing in making their decision. Mind you, I will point this out too. It took them days to make a decision. It wasn't like 3 hours later before end of work day, on the same day after of the same day of the closing arguments. It's not like they went back out and said, we have a verdict. They still took 2 days, 2 extra days after that, to make sure that they had a sound verdict that they felt was fair. So for Elaine's team or Amber Heard's team to sit here and try to chop up and screw this, spin it around to make it seem like, oh, it was the jury, or, like I said before, it was the wind, is insulting to those men and women who dedicated so many hours, so many countless hours to listen to this circus of a trial. Let's continue.
It is everywhere, but at the same time, they were admonished every single night.
Exactly.
And they had a tremendous amount of respect, I think, for the court and the process, and they were doing the best that they could.
Yeah. Support for Johnny Depp online was exponentially greater than for Amber Heard. Just one example, on TikTok, the Justice for Amber Heard hashtag has 27 million views. Justice for Johnny Depp, 20 billion. Heard's attorneys have suggested that perhaps this is because of an orchestrated campaign on behalf of Johnny Depp. Do you know anything about an online campaign on behalf of Johnny Depp?
That is utterly baseless. In fact, very early in the case, the prior Chief Judge White had thrown out a count in the counterclaims that related to that. It was absolutely absurd and baseless.
Okay. I have to respond to this, okay? Like, this is the most ridiculous. Okay, I'm not slamming Savannah. Very great question. But the fact that Team Heard is actually pulling this BS out here. Like I said, it was the wind. Here it is. People saw Johnny Depp's trial. They were listening to things. They were hearing things out. Johnny Depp went on the stand. He exposed himself. And I don't mean that in some double entendre. I mean, he really exposed warts and all, everything. He took accountability for his actions. He said, yes, I have these these issues with addiction. Yes, I said these text messages. Yes, I wrote this email. Yes, I did this, that, and the third, right? Except for one text message near the end. He was like, I didn't write that. That's not even in the way I speak. That doesn't even make sense. Somebody else made that, not me. Outside of that, he's like, yep, I take accountability for every single thing. Every single thing. And then all of a sudden, Johnny Depp, I stand with Johnny Depp, or justice for Johnny, or just hashtag Johnny Depp. All those things blew the F up. Why, you may ask? Because I think the general public was sitting back, waiting. Yes, there's other people that were already on the bandwagon, of course. Some people are already biased because either they just really love his movies and they think he could do no wrong, or they did their due diligence and they were looking things up and they found out these audio tapes and all that, making you realize that, damn, maybe he was just in a really volatile, toxic relationship with another very toxic human being. But outside of that, a lot of us, myself included, sat back and wanted to hear Johnny. Then I feel like the 2 billion I stand with Johnny type stuff didn't start really going off until Amber Heard went and took the stand, and she just started going all over the place like birdshot. And you're going, oh, damn, this woman, ooh, she just lying through her teeth. This is bad. Real talk. So, of course, you see her performance. You see how she addresses things. She's lying. She's taking no accountability. Then you also, if you've done your research, you're hearing the audios. You're seeing the photos that were obviously doctored and manipulated. But the audio clips themselves say a lot. Then you start looking and you start diving even more. You go into that rabbit hole, that dark ass rabbit hole, and you start looking at body cam footage from police officers going into this penthouse that they said was ransacked and that her face was all red and all that. Did we ever see any of that stuff in the body cam footage? Hell to the no. No. So I feel like the general public got smart. We ain't dumb out here. They think that, oh, just by saying, oh, it's raining outside. What? I don't feel anything. What are you talking about? It ain't raining. Stop telling me it's raining when it ain't even raining. Okay? Straight up. So let's continue. Okay? Hold up. Did I miss something? Did I miss something? I guess somebody just subscribed. I guess, is that what happened? Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, let's continue, okay? I thought maybe somebody joined the membership, but anyway, I was wrong. Okay. What's the phrase? I think the phrase is like don't piss on me and tell me it's raining or something. I don't know. It's some weird saying. Somebody knows it out there. But anyway, I feel like the general public ain't dumb, but a lot of people like to do these smoke and mirrors and lean on a certain bias and think that it's just that easy. No, it's not. Especially when you got people who aren't dumb, looking up information, finding out the facts, and finding out the truth. That's basically it. So let us continue.
You know for a fact that neither he nor his agents nor anyone tried to in some way pay for or otherwise encourage this kind of social media activity.
False. Categorically false.
Why do you think the jury didn't believe her? Because when you look at the verdict, it really comes down to that.
I'm sorry. It's the stupidest question in the world. I'm sorry, Savannah. I'm sorry. Because, I know she got to do this question, but it's clear as day why the jury didn't believe her. Let's keep it straight, funky, but let's see how these two graciously diplomatic lawyers answer this question.
The issue is what she's saying true or false? And by their verdict, they said it's false.
Yep.
Well, my sense is that it had a lot to do with accountability, that Johnny owned his issues. He was very candid about his alcohol and drug issues. He was candid about some unfortunate texts that he wrote. And I think it was a sharp contrast to Ms. Heard, who didn't seem, or at least the jury may have perceived that she didn't take accountability for anything.
As you know, this has been closely watched, and in the Me Too context, some people have wondered whether there is a larger resonance to this trial, whether it sends a message. Do you see any?
Okay, I'm going to roll that back here in a second because that's a very good question to end the interview. But to answer, to just back up what he just said, okay? Yes, this all has to do 110% about him taking accountability. He took the high road. But that's the thing. And I keep saying it over and over again. I know I sound like a broken record. I know I sound like a broken record when I say I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say it again. And they said it in both interviews. Accountability. Is someone saying, hey, I'm not perfect. I made mistakes. I mean, really, the mistake was finding her and then actually falling in love with her and then proposing to her and then staying with her, even when she was showing her crazy ass ways. And then you go and get your finger lobbed off and you stick around and you still try to be the nice guy. And then you find yourself in a trial for $100 million defamation lawsuit. But no, outside of that, okay, aside from all that, that was the biggest mistake. It was the meet and greet during Rum Diaries. Rum Diaries should not exist anymore, period. Okay? That's the mistake. That's the biggest mistake Johnny Depp ever made. Okay? But outside of that, he still took accountability for all the actions that he did. Every single last one. Not once did he go, oh yeah, I learned Japanese and I started an organization when I was 17 years old to adopt abandoned dolphins. And, I helped give birth to a whole bunch of baby swans when I was 21. Like, he ain't saying none of that. None of this BS. I co-wrote Heal the World when I was 27. He ain't saying any of those things. He's just saying, hey, yes, I have these addictions. Yes, I made a very big mistake by meeting this woman. I fell in love with this woman. Okay. Damn, my bad. Okay. And I was trying to get out of it. And I tried to cower away from her, but she made my life a living hell. And I didn't know how to get out of it as quickly as possible and as painlessly as possible as well. Let's not forget. He lost a, little finger over there. Okay. Little Richard, as he calls him now. Okay. So absolutely 110%. It's all about accountability. I think that was one of the biggest parts that helped him win this particular trial. Aside from the mountains of evidence as well that we already know. Okay. As well. But let's continue. Hit that like button down below, y'all. Let's go.
Has been closely watched, and in the Me Too context, some people have wondered whether there is a larger resonance to this trial, whether it sends a message. Do you see any larger message beyond the case you tried?
No. I mean, frankly, we don't. We're here to talk about the case that we tried, right? Yes. We encourage all victims to come forward, have their day in court, which is exactly what happened in this case.
Do you feel confident in your appeal? Ms. Heard does intend to appeal.
We feel very confident that there are no errors that would justify any kind of successful appeal.
And then finally, I have to ask you, not since OJ, perhaps, has the trial been so closely watched and the lawyers become famous people in their own right. What has that been like for you, particularly you, Camille? I think I saw someone on social media get a tattoo of your face on their body, which is weird.
That is weird. I'm gonna be real. That is most definitely weird, but kind of cool at the same time, I'll say more here after she responds.
It's been overwhelming and surreal, but to the extent that I can encourage young women to stay in school and maybe inspire them to pursue a legal career, then it's all worth it.
Well, I understand you got a promotion yesterday to partner.
Well deserved.
I was going to say, about time, other partner, right? Camille Vasquez, Ben Chu. Just saying. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Damn right. Well deserved. I'm going to say, and we've already said it a million times over, but congratulations to Camille Vasquez for getting this partnership. That's a huge thing. But let me say something real quick, too. I do want to point this out. She said in one of the other, in the first interview as well, that it's for women, especially in law, it could be very tough, okay, to move, to push forward and to climb the ranks and all that. There's a certain amount of strength. There's a certain amount of intelligence that you have to have. And I think that's one of the things that she exemplified throughout the entire trial. Strength and intelligence and heart. But I do feel that both of these guys, Benjamin Chew and Camille Vasquez did a tremendous job in showing heart, showing care, asking the right questions, knowing when to attack. When you smell blood, you attack. They knew what to do because they knew that what they were leaning on was nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. You could tell that the team really cared for Johnny, really cared about each other, that they were working as one big organism. Whereas you look at the other side, you look at Team Heard, it was just a bunch of just ridiculousness. Everyone was marching to the beat of their own drummer. And then Heard is just right there in the middle trying to orchestrate all of this BS. And yes, I think it's a big thing for a lot of women, a lot of young girls out here too, that are watching Camille and they're saying, you know, I could do that too, that this is possible. You know, it is inspiring. Let's be real. It's an incredibly inspiring thing to see a woman out here kicking ass, being the spearhead of this entire trial, being the rock star of this entire trial. And don't get me wrong, Ben Chew did his thing too, man. He killed it. Okay. He killed it as well. But she couldn't have killed it without Benjamin Chew and vice versa. Without that team, there would be no win for Johnny Depp. So you see those two interviews that we just went through, those two, you see them both. You see how they both reacted in both interviews. And look at Elaine and how she responded in her interviews. Very accusatory, very pointing the blame at everybody else. Except, you know, I did point this out, and I did share it on Twitter as well. When she was on the Good Morning, not Good Morning America, but the show with CBS Morning or something like that, CBS Good Morning or whatever, with Gayle King. And there was a guy on the show, you know, Gayle's asking the questions. Obviously, she's like, you know, she's the head of the show. But he goes, yo, I am an ex-NFL player. Every time we would walk away from a loss, we would, at least myself, I would go through the things that I did wrong and see what I can do better the next time around. Now, that was one of the most important questions that anybody asked Elaine during any of the interviews that she had done. And even then, she could not take accountability for the decisions that they decided to have, that they made inside that courtroom. Not once did she sit there and go, yes, we could have been better. We could have done this more. We could have done that more. We should have gone back on this. We should have let up on this part. So many different pieces. So many moments she could have had an opportunity to show that she actually has a conscience, that she actually is a human being and not just some mouthpiece for Amber Heard. And guess what? She still didn't even do that. She still said it was the wind the entire damn time. This is the difference between a team that actually cares and a team that doesn't. Like I said, it's a vibe, okay? It's a vibration. It's an energy. And you can see this energy between these two and that entire team for Johnny. Heard's team, dark vibrations. I know I'm not trying to be like like I just did peyote and I'm just hitting a drum and going, I'm not trying to be that guy, okay? But you can tell when it comes to the vibrations, you can tell with their demeanor, you can tell with how they're even answering these damn questions. They don't care about the win, they care about Johnny. And that's the difference between winning graciously and being a sore ass loser. Anyway, guys, that is the show today. I do appreciate all y'all for being on. Real talk, I really do. You guys have been really amazing. Okay? Seriously, it's great to see a lot of y'all in here. And please, if you haven't done it yet, man, dag nabbit, hit that subscribe button, man. Okay? And for those of y'all who are starting to walk out, okay, hit that like button. I know I did it backwards just now, but at the same time, hit that like button down below. Get it past 2K real quick. I know we're at 1.3K, but hit that like button down below. Send it past 2K really quick. That would really, really mean a lot. It just takes 2 seconds. Hit it before you sign off. That would really mean a lot. And if you haven't done it yet, I'll say it again. Hit that subscribe button. Support this channel. We talk about a lot of things on this channel other than just Johnny Depp. But this was what I was waiting for. I was waiting for this story. We got so many other stories to talk about. We talked about a bunch last night with my boy Nico, with the Uvalde shooting, and all that last night. And if you haven't gotten a chance to check that out, please go check out that show. That was a great conversation. We covered a lot of tracks on that particular show. So please go and check out that stream as well. So hit that subscribe button before you head out. All right. Support this channel. Show this channel some love. Okay. I'd really, 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 really appreciate it. All right. Let's keep building this family. Let's keep holding each other together. Keep holding it down. Okay. We really appreciate it. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Okay. Do something positive with yourselves. I'm hopefully going to be doing a show later on this evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with some of my men, because we are going to be talking about the hashtag Men Too. So hopefully we will be on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will be putting out a tweet and putting something out on the community page and on my Discord as well, just so you guys know if that's actually going down or not. Okay. Simon, thank you so much for showing the love. Okay. On Facebook, I really do appreciate it. He says, I like all the topics. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. And Sarah Logan, I don't know what time they're going to be on Court TV, but if they are on at a specific time and I'm anywhere near this purple ass room, I will be on and we will stream it live together and just watch it as a fam. But that might be a very, very far-fetched possibility. And yes, Nico was an original contestant on American Idol. Yeah. And he and I went to college, or sorry, not college, high school, or knew each other in high school and all that. So I've known him for a very, 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 very long time. Okay. Harriet Manning, thank you so much for loving the show. I really do appreciate it. Again, without you guys, there would be no show. Okay. Without all your love and support and the views and all that stuff, there would be no damn show. Okay. So do me a favor. If you liked this particular show, please share it. If you're on Twitter, whatnot, share it, share this feed on Twitter and all that. Let people know about these other interviews that have popped off today. Actually, this happened this morning. So yeah, I'd appreciate it. And I love every single last one of y'all. Seriously, you guys are all such a blessing. Welcome to the Pascal Show family. For those of y'all who have joined the membership and those of y'all who just even hit the subscribe button, I just appreciate every single last one, y'all. We about to talk about some serious things here, y'all. So get ready. It's about to get bumpy. What else is new? It's the Pascal Show. If it ain't bumpy, it ain't the Pascal Show. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. I appreciate all y'all again. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button before you head out. Love to see you get past 2K. All right. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button. All right. We went past 65,000 subscribers yesterday, which was amazing. And would love to see it grow more. I'm working towards 100,000. So I appreciate the love and support. Okay. Me Queen, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Thank you for your time, Pascal. No, thank you for your time. You see what I'm saying? Coming in and watching this is always a blessing. And of course, the $10 super chat is always as well highly and heavily and greatly appreciated. So thank you so very much. Check out my merch down below. All right. And all that stuff. If you want to support and show some love to the show. Okay, guys? But anyway, it is officially time to get going. I love all y'all. Have a wonderful hump day. Or for those of y'all who are ending your hump day, enjoy your night. Have a great night. Okay? And I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Until next time, this is The Pascal Show. Bye.